Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm returning to one of my favorite games of all time, 7th Citadel, to play the new mission, the new campaign that released with the latest expansions. And disclaimer that I got a review copy of this. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our weekly podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So again, with the most recent slate of expansions for this game, they have a new campaign called The First Garden. There's also a bunch of little mini expansions. One of them also has a new, not really campaign, but like single scenario threat, I think. And if you don't know what 7th Citadel is, go back and look at my old videos. It's one of my favorite adventure games of all time. Just to kind of refresh myself, I actually just played through an entire alternate threat with my 13-year-old. I introduced him to the game. I had a great time with that. And I have just finished playing through the initial A New Beginning scenario, because if you're not familiar with the game, you do have to play through this introductory scenario every single time. Although one of the small expansions they sent me adds some new cards to this, so there was a little bit of variance in what I've seen before. But I ended up doing quite well in terms of what I was able to keep. I leveled up a whole bunch. I still have 4 Glimmers of Hope to be close to leveling up. These are cards you earn that can eventually become a card called Hope Reborn, and that lets you kind of fill out this skill tree to level up. I have a potion, I have an ally, I have a centipede and some grain to eat or trade with, and a really weak weapon, but hey, it's something. And I'm playing as Denom, who is supposed to be one of the oldest people that was, just to kind of give a quick primer on the basic history of the game. We're in this kind of like fantasy fallen world where there was a big battle between the necro druids who would raise up these like horrifying plants and the worm master who had these giant burrower worms going through and like causing the land to collapse. Think, I don't know, the movie Tremors or Dune. And basically at the beginning of the game, in A New Beginning, they both kind of fall apart. You're in a citadel, you're kind of enslaved by the evil necro-druid, and you're able to escape, and you start out your own little community. And then you go on some adventures. So that's what's happened to me. I'm now the leader of the community. Each character has their own little unique quests, and mine has blood ties, where I'm trying to find something with that little necklace symbol to track down news of I think it's my daughter. Yeah, my youngest daughter, who I think is dead. Highly doubt we'll get to anything like that in this one scenario, but hey, anything's possible. And just to be clear, I've never played this scenario or this threat before, so this is my first time with it. Although, you know, it is going to be taking me across parts of the map that I already know because I've played the game enough to have at least a vague idea of where most of the things are. And yeah, there will be spoilers in here, so if you don't want to know anything about this new threat, don't watch, I guess. But here we go. We're going to start out with some reading. The curtain rises. The performance by the traveling troupe, which arrived at the Citadel yesterday, is drawing to a close. The 4 actors, 3 men and 1 woman, have captivated their audience with one of the legendary tales of the Amber Knight. This time, the hero did not rely on his famous sword, still managing to fell 12 brigands in the Bandit Gorges with a single arrow. The resounding applause from former slave gardeners and newly arrived refugees shows just how much the performance struck a chord. But the lighthearted moment does not last. In the middle of the night, someone knocks on your door. True to form, Rayline did not wait for dawn to bring you the news.
"We've got a problem," he whispers. "The actors were caught rummaging through the ruins of the sacred grove. They haven't been questioned yet. I figured you'd want to handle it yourself."
You grab your apron without a word and follow Rayline. When you arrive, the performers lower their eyes, clearly uncomfortable. Lorvik, tall and slender, is the first to speak.
"We meant no disrespect to your community. We're sorry for the intrusion, but we had no choice.
If you'll hear us out in private, we can explain everything." Intrigued, you bring them to your quarters. Once out of sight, Nara, the actress, pulls out a strange seed and holds it out to you. Long and twisted, it looks like anything you have seen during your many cycles of captivity.
"Before coming here, we gave several performances in Port Bile, where we met a young man named Plethor," she begins. "He told us an incredible story. Apparently, a slave gardener came into town with a sack full of bizarre seeds, but when questioned, he spoke nonsense, rambling incoherently. Mad or not, his story caught the attention of the city-state's great families, who quickly took an interest in the mystery."
Lorvik takes over.
"Plethor is convinced the seeds are valuable, and managed to get a hold of a few. He invited us to travel with him to Kel to learn more. On the way, we heard about your community and hoped to find some answers here, either about the seeds or the citadels, since it was a slave gardener who brought them. After a fruitless day of asking around, we decided, perhaps clumsily, to search the ruins, hoping to find scrolls or books that once belonged to the necro-druid. We apologize if we cause any trouble, but time is short. The great families of Port Bile are already moving to uncover the secret, and they don't exactly have a reputation for subtlety. As a token of goodwill, We offer you this seed, Nara adds. We'd like you to come with us to Kel. Plethor is still there, researching the city's archives. He might have answers, but we must act fast.
You study the seed, intrigued. The mystery pulls at you, and the chance to finally leave the camp and discover what the world looks like after the reversal seals your decision. I'll go with you. Get ready. We leave at dawn. The next morning, as the Citadel stirs under the first light of day, you pack your few belongings and leave final instructions with Lahan, asking her to watch over the community in your absence. Buck, bring me a ground shiver, will you? Your camp assists in emergence from a shed with the device, one of the very first necrodruidic creations, capable of detecting the presence of burrowers. Without it would be too risky to venture into the collapsing lands, and you are one of the few who knows how it works. Ground shiver in hand, you set off for Kel with the actors, eager to get to the bottom of this mystery. Oh, and then I get to choose to plant the seed Nara gave before leaving the Citadel, I guess. Although, with necro-druids and evil, plants all over the place in this game, I'm not sure if it's a good idea. But there we go. This little book symbol in the upper left shows this goes in my journal, just like it's something that we're aware of. It says, the seed sown. You planted the seed Nara gave you in the small patch of soil beside your quarters in the Citadel. Great, maybe next time I go to sleep in my bed, I can be eaten by a plant zombie. Okay, now I'll go through some clarifications and things. All right, so any picture that has the symbol of that little mask there with a tear coming out of it will be specific to this quest, and I'll use. It says my goal... Oh, the scenario does not end at the Citadel. That's pretty unusual. Returning there prematurely will count as failing the scenario. So my primary goal is to meet Plethor in Kel. According to the actors, Plethor will be waiting for them every evening at sunset in the Palace Square in Kel. You'll need at least one of them to reach Kel in order to identify him, so I can't let all the actors die. And then primary goal, convince Plethor to trust you. Plethor is unlikely to reveal anything unless he believes you can be of use to him. When you read the epilogue, your combined, oh my gosh, influence and knowledge score must be 10 or higher. What? So to clarify what this is talking about, this is like the little sheet you use to keep track of your progress. And as you do things, I, again, did very well in the prologue, so I got a lot of these already checked. But yeah, you'll check things that kind of show how your community's doing. So there's like how much food you produce. This is how strong your defenses are, how much knowledge you have of the outside world, and how well you're trusted by people when you travel around. So I need to get 10 total for these? Usually those kind of gains would take like 3 or 4 scenarios. I'm assuming and hoping that the special cards with that crying mask symbol will help me out a lot. Because otherwise, I don't freaking know how I'm going to do that. I mean, I did to help me out slightly. So yeah, there's like the little skill tree that you level up. You start from the center and work your way outwards. You can see that I've leveled up 6 times already, and I'm about to level up a 7th time with that other Hope Reborn. So I might want to use, if I get some level ups during the mission, use some of them to level up those statistics. But also you get to build buildings as you go, and I started out with ones I usually start out with, which means every time I leave the Citadel, like at the beginning of this mission, I'm going to gain some bonuses. In this case, I will gain from the gallows and the grain saddle, and the forum, 1 more book and 1 more crowns. That'll make me 1 and 2, so I'd still need to get 7 more. And I can get like maybe a couple from leveling up, because whenever you check one of these little Citadel icons, so I can reach that one there and that one there. Still, we're going to have to see how much the game helps me out here. All right, now we go through our preparation, and then we're ready to go. So it says my ground shiver is level 3. That's going to determine which locations I can easily explore to. It's basically like a gating mechanic, because some of the tiles I would try to move to in the game are going to need a ground shiver of 4+. And if I don't have that, I would have to spend absurd amounts of my energy to explore them. So it's basically the game forcing you to stay where you're supposed to be. I'm going to get 101 through 104. Those are objective cards. Oh, okay, they're the actors. So I guess some effects might cause them to die. I'm going to get 45 life since I'm playing true solo. I'm going to draw 2 cards from my action deck, which will give me little powers. I can unblock companions. I do have one, Ratko, and he's pretty useful, so I'll probably bring him along with me. But it will cost me 2 of my 45 life points. And then I'm getting card 75, which will show the Citadel where we're starting. And that's about it. We're going to go ahead and see if we can find these guys and raise stuff up a lot. Oh, actually, that's not it. I resolve all the preparation effects for my buildings, and I have 1 of each, so I'm up a little bit higher on all those stats. And yeah, my ground shiver is at 3. And yeah, so Ratko is a companion. You can get companions by doing different things throughout the game, but you don't get to bring them with you for free. You have to use up some life to bring them. And life is, yes, it's the stat that is taken down when you get attacked by things, but mainly it's a way to reshuffle your action deck. Because if you haven't seen 7th Citadel before, basically this deck of cards. These are cards that were unique to Denholm, cards that I've added by leveling up already. These are going to be used to resolve tests, but whenever like the cards are running out because you need them to move around and stuff, you have to take some life to recover and shuffle them back in. And I'm playing, by the way, on standard difficulty, where you spend 1 life to get 2 cards shuffled back in. But yeah, so my cards, to explain why I really wanted to get Ratko, I've gone, well, that card's not quite right, but I've gone for a strength, a fist, and a flag, a kind of like charisma leadership build. So I have a lot of things that benefit from having companions like Ratko, and I have a lot of flags and fists in my deck. All right, but let's get to adventuring. So let's talk about where I need to go. So I don't have any of the maps scouted out yet, by the way. You can do certain things to get this filled in. It'll look a lot better. So I am starting out in my Citadel, which is in the ruins of Valengard, right here. So to the south is this swampy mire. To the east, there's the Inn of the Red Spiggy, and then the 84 Hills, and then going on to Fort Shade. But where I'm trying to get is to Kel, this big city here around the Great Sea. Now, again, because there's been like a huge cataclysmic collapse, the world won't necessarily look like this. I know what it looks like. I've explored all of this area that I need to go through for this mission extensively in other threats, whereas there's some spots I've only been to a couple of times. So I'm just going to have to head east to the Inn of the Red Spiggy, go a little bit farther until I hit the hills, and then head south across the bridge into Kel. That's at least the plan. We'll see if the land and the quest cooperate with me. All right, here we go. I'm starting in the Citadel right here. And you'll see that it points down with 8194. That's showing locations I can travel to. But first, with this little 1 Roman numeral, I have to have a sort of random encounter before I can actually move to those places. I could also take an action to do 77, but that's just to scurry back to the Citadel, which is not helpful at all in this case. Oh, I forgot. I get 2 free action cards. So nope, not going to keep this one. That was a bad draw. Reflex are just good for giving you stars and they give you little special bonuses during skill tests. So drawing one there was totally worthless. But I did get Fine Tactician. This is a great one. So if I drew it for a skill test, it would give me a star and also 2 fists towards like bonuses I can get. But it is an ongoing card I can keep for like the rest of the mission if I want to. I can use it during combats to make my flags or my stealth count as fists, which actually I guess doesn't matter yet because I don't have a weapon that would make fists do anything. But if I can find a sword or something, that'd be a really good card. All right, so anyway, I have no reason to go south really unless I just want to flounce around. There are some things I know are useful down in the swamps. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and see what's to the right. Oh, it looks pretty good. Under the rubble of an old framework structure, you discover a massive chest with a rusty lock. So I could just ignore it and discard it so I can move on to the place. But if I want to, I can try a test to unlock it. I mean, heck yeah. So to zoom in on the key details here, just in case you haven't seen the game before. So the skill test is going to be an unlocking test. That's the key, which doesn't actually matter unless like one of my card abilities says they help specifically with unlocking, which I don't have any of right now. The chain means that this is a limited test. So the 3+ means I need to draw at least 3 cards from my action deck. I can choose to draw more. But in most tests, you can use any number of those cards to get stars for success. With a chain, it means I can only use up to 3 of the cards, the best 3. I need to get at least 2 stars, which isn't too hard since every card has at least half a star on it. And then I'll get some stuff. So let's try 4 cards just to be safe. And again, I can use 3 of them. All right, so there's a full star and there's a 1.5 stars. That's already enough. But I could have used a 3rd card, which actually wouldn't have helped here because I don't have one. Like if it would have been a star on the left there, I could have completed that other star. Okay, so these all get discarded because I'm tiring myself out. And again, I'll have to take life points or lose life. But I'm going to get a 50 card, which is a book, a 199 card, which is a pretty good basic item, and a 155 card, I think, is an ongoing status effect. So nothing about that was bad. All right, yeah, so I got some cured meat. It's a provision and a bartering item. The barter is probably more important because I can like pay people to get help and stuff, or I can just eat it for some healing. The book I found was actually a score for flute. So I need to have a musical ally or item in my possession to even use this. Cool, not doing that anytime soon. And yeah, one of the things they sent me with the original crowdfunding campaign was this. And then the last thing was actually ammunition, which I already had, and there's only 1 copy of it. And I have no ranged weapons to use it with yet. Anyway, so cool. That was not great, but whatever. Okay, now that I've cleared out the exploration card, I can go here. It says a plank track winds through the desolate territory. Further north, a strange stone slab looms above the dusty ground. All right, so here we go. There is a stone slab. There is something to go to the north, but again, no reason to explore any of those things with my current mission. So I'm going to take a basic action, which is I have to use at least one blue card, draw at least one card. It doesn't matter how many successes I get. There's a hand icon, which means every time I move, I get to keep the card I drew, which will go into my hand. Since I'm playing true solo, I can hold up to 4 cards in my hand at a time to boost tests and stuff, and I get up to 10 weight of items in my hands at a time. Currently, the only thing that weigh anything are my sack of grain and my hoe, so I'm totally fine. I've got 2 out of 10. Yeah, so I have to discard 1 card to move over here, and I get the authority card added to my hand, which in any skill test can be discarded to add 2 flags to the test, which I could use to inspire Ratko to dig or do something strong or talk to somebody and get me a star. See the 2 flags to 1 star, max 3 times in those kind of tests. He can also just let me discard cards from my hand to get strength because he's a big bully. He was one of the guys who actually was like helping the Necro Druid torture the people that worked in the Citadel like me. So people were not happy I let him stay alive, but I knew I wanted an ally, so he was a good one to get early on. All right, so I could examine the stone slab, but no, I know what that does, and it's a crazy thing to try to investigate at this stage. Oh, wait, I do. Look, I got in a previous book, Flaglancia, so I know that I can eat it if I'm exhausted to get a nice card. Fortunately, I'm not exhausted, but look, the Flaglancia is right there. All right, so should I look around before I go to the right? Sure. A plank road on stilts, wide enough for a cart, is bordered at regular intervals by stakes hung with little metal bells. The so-called singing lane was built during the War of the Worms to warn travelers of approaching burrowers since they had no way of detecting them. The slightest underground tremor causes the stakes, deeply embedded in the ground, to ring their bells and signal imminent danger. Even though the lane is now in disrepair and less reliable than your ground shiver, there is something reassuring about it being near the Citadel. Okay, I get a 152 card, but that one is not ammo. That one is a bonus status effect. Oh, and I can choose 1 card from my action deck or discard pile and add it to my hand. Heck yeah, but then I banish this, which means I will never be able to do this for the rest of the entire campaign. It is entirely gone. All right, the status effect, the blessing I got is you are confident. So the brown box with no symbol in it means I can apply this to any test. And, oh wow, I can get a free star or +1 chain to keep an extra card. That's fantastic, although I can only use it once. And then along the same lines, I'll take this card from my discard pile that I got discarded, Determination. I can use it in any test. I do have to declare its use during the gear up step at the beginning of the test, which is not usually the case. Usually you can use hand cards after you see what you've drawn and what your success rate is. But then it'll give me either a wild class icon, the question mark, or a free star. So between confident and determination, I can make myself win at basically almost any test. All right, well, that was cool. Again, no reason to go south towards the lake. Let's go ahead and see what's going on over here. Oh, sorry, I didn't show this before. So it says it's a 4+ 0 star pathfinding test, a little like sign thing, which means I'd have to discard 4 cards from the top of my deck. But then you'll see it says if your ground shiver is level 3 or higher, it's a free test, 0 and 0. But that's how they, again, would gate stuff. Like, look, here, if I was trying to get to a 5 Roman numeral type of region, it would cost me 7 cards. My ground shiver would not be high enough to negate that. So it would super tire me out very quickly if I tried to explore too much in that land. Oh, geez, is this a new one? Yeah, it is. I've never seen this before. Expedition report. The ground here looks as though it has been plowed. You follow the strange tracks until you come across a massive ship anchor. Its chain snapped clean through. How could something like this end up here? Perhaps your scouts came across similar oddities while mapping the collapsing lands? Okay, during the preparations phase, if you were at the Citadel and you flip at least 1 card currently in the world map, take a 740 card and banish this. Okay, so this is cool. I've never seen this one before. But it's encouraging me to do at least 1 level up that has this little pen, feather pen symbol, because that's going to fill in my map and like actually tell me where things are. It also allows fast travel in some scenarios and other cool stuff, so definitely a good thing to do. But for now, it's a book, so until I do that, it'll just sit around. Cool, always fun to see things from expansions. And oh, we got our first quest-specific card. So I was looking for 90, the land I was about to travel to. But you always want to check if there's one that matches your quest. So there's the little crying eye. So I'm not taking the regular 90 card, I'm taking this one. You carefully make your way along an old plank road raised on stilts when the silence is shattered by a sharp crack and a cry of pain. Nara, walking just behind you, dude, we're like 2 feet from the Citadel, has stepped through a rotten board. I think my ankle is broken, she winces. You kneel beside her to examine the injury and assess whether it can be treated. Really? Okay, so first of all, I can just choose to continue on and suggest that Nara return to the Citadel, which would lose me her objective card. I feel like maybe they're going to give me bonus books or something when I reach the city, so I don't really want to do that. That's a tough test, though. But I've got my confidence and I've got my determination. I can probably make it work. I have nothing that helps me with medical tests. But yeah, let's go for it. So I can only use one card. So even if I do determination and confidence, I still got to get like at least one success. And again, usually I have to declare gear during the gear up step before I do the test, but I wouldn't usually have to declare something for my hand. But in this case, I just want to make sure that I succeed. So we're going to use both of these. So it's giving us either 2 free stars or a free star and keeping an extra card. If I get 2 that'll go together. And I can keep up to 1 card, but I can draw as many as I want. So let's draw 3. I just need to get 1 regular. Oh, that was great. So any of these will give me a star. Confidence will give me a star. Determination will give me a star. The rest of these don't matter. So the blue cards I use get discarded. The confidence gets returned back to the deck. Bye-bye. And the blue cards I flipped get discarded. And there's no hand icon in here, so I don't get to add any of them to my hand. Ooh, but I get a 99 card, which is a level up card. And I get to banish this and get a regular 90 card to travel again. So there we go. 1 crisis averted. And just to show you these, the basic level up cards, Hope Reborn, they sit in your journal until you want to use them. At any time, you can block them and all your Hope Reborn cards to get 10 extra life points. So that's just a way to give yourself more time to complete the mission or survive. But the main thing is this little thinking test. I can take it, and then I can check 1 symbol on the Destiny page of the Citadel leaflet and block this. So you are limited to 7 level ups per mission, although I've rarely gotten that many. And I already had, from my last scenario, 4 Glimmers of Hope. When I get a 5th one, I can trade it in for one of those 99 Hope Reborn cards and have a 2nd level up ready. I'm not going to use it yet. Let's wait and see if I need to do the Citadel stuff to raise up my intelligence or reputation or whatever. Okay, moving on with 1 actor save. The ravages of the burrowers have devastated the landscape. The once green and hilly region is now a wasteland, traversed by a path of broken planks. The Great Sea has taken the opportunity to spread out on all sides, pushing its northwestern shoreline all the way here. Yes, this is to show you what they're saying about the landscape. We're right here at the moment, and the Great Sea is right there. So that sucker has spread out. All right, and this time I've got a 3 Roman numeral if I wanted to explore up there, which would cost me 7 cards because it is higher than I could do. All right, but I'm going to move over for 1. Remember, I get to keep this in my hand. It is a flight card for fleeing during combat. I don't really want to use that, but I've got it in my hand if I need it. All right, now, should I investigate? I think it's just a general thing. It can be good or bad. But honestly, I'll give you a little tip for 7 Citadel. Don't feel like you have to investigate all the random things on places, because a lot of them can just hurt you and not give that good of a benefit anyway. We'll just keep on exploring. Oh, I guess something bad has happened anyway. The mouth of a watcher is visible in the ground. You notice the burrower just in time, but it springs from its hole to grab you. Okay, so it has the ambush keyword. I'll tell you what that means in a second. And this is what's called, I think it's a compound test. So basically, we're going to keep on doing tests over and over again. We have to because of that red outline around the swords. We can't choose to do something else. But so here we'd have to do 1 star and then the success, that little white box to the right of that, shows we get to keep a card from our test and move the die down 1. Then we'd have 3 more stars. So it's not only multiple tests to do each step, but it has multiple steps. But hey, you know what? My flight card. Oh, sorry. What does ambush do? I didn't say that. Oh, skip the first gear up step. Oh, man, which means I can't run away yet. So maybe I should just kill him. Because, yeah, I have to try my luck. And if I fail, I'll lose 3 life points and get injured. Oh, which is worse than what he'll do to me if he beats me. So never mind. We won't use flight. We'll just try to beat him. So this first test, it is 1 star. I can only keep up to 1 card. And if I fail, I'm going to take 2 damage, but I can keep one of the cards I flipped and I have to try again. Now, I do have Fine Tactician. This card is awesome because, number 1, I can keep using it. You'll see it doesn't have a discard effect at the bottom. Some cards are like that. And it's, oh, that's right. This one doesn't matter at all. What am I talking about? Because it lets me change flags into fists, which would be great if I had a weapon that uses fists. But they all broke at the end of my last mission. So yeah, this is just a straight up punch the dude. I got no things to give me free stars or extra chains. I don't know. I'll flip 3 cards. And there we go. I got 1 that had a star. So I do get to keep one of the cards I flipped. I'll see which one I want, and then I move the thing down. Second win lets me get some cards back into my deck, so I don't have to rest as much. Save your energy lets me spend fewer cards for an expensive action. And timely intervention is more for a multiplayer thing. I really just got it for the 1 star and the the attribute icons that I like. It lets you retry a test you just failed. So I guess I'll get second win. That's pretty easy to use. Okay, so now, I could just use flight to run away. I'm reconsidering it because the ambush only applies for the first gear up step. I'd have a 50-50 chance of getting injured and taking a lot of damage. But here I'd have to get 3 stars in 2 draws. And if I fail, I'm going to get injured anyway. But my luck is always terrible. Okay, I'm not going to... All right, sure, I'll try it. So I'm going to discard my flight. I discard this guy because he wouldn't give him anything for beating him anyway. By the way, 3 of these cards are lucky. 3 of them are unlucky, so it's a 50-50 chance. One of them is super unlucky, and one of them is super lucky and also gives you a level up or a partial level up card. So, okay. So nothing good. It's not the super lucky one, but we did... Yeah, you just keep them all in there. We did not get hurt. All right, so we can continue on. To the north, a wooden building overlooks the strata of cracked earth that rise up from the sea. Yep, there's that inn of the red Spivey. I showed this in one of my earlier videos. There is a secret in it, so if you don't want to see what that is, maybe fast forward like a minute. And I get the card Survival Instinct, which only I can use the special ability at the bottom if I have 10 life points or more, so I'll just discard that now. No point in keeping it in my hand. That was to move over. And I'll investigate the inn for 1. The building has resisted time and war. Beneath the Spiggy on the sign, you can make out the words, the Red Spiggy. An abandoned inn without a doubt. You search from the cellar to the attic without finding anything interesting, but notice several dusty rooms, still in favorable condition for a traveler. So it says you enter the most spacious room, probably the one once occupied by the innkeeper. It has been an eternity since you last slept in a bed. So as a free action, I can gain 4 life points, and you can go above your max. Or not your max, your starting value. So I'll go ahead and use that to go to 7. But actually, before I do that, there are hidden numbers to look out for. Do you see it? Yep, 121. Funny thing is, I totally missed that the first time I played it on camera, and somebody had to mention it. So one of the floorboards squeaks. And I find a box. So I get a 154 card, 2 149 cards, and a 249 card, but then this is gone. And then I'll rest for the 4 life points. And I got lucky here. One of the things I got is a potion that I can discard to gain 4 flags, which remember I'm pretty good at, and gain 2 life points. I also got a coin purse that I can use for bartering, and a flute I can use for bartering, or for playing that score for flute I found, although I need to be good at magic or have a magical blessing, that's what all those stars are, to get 5 successes on 1 card draw, so that's not happening anytime soon. And none of those use up any weight, so I'm good to go. All right, let's keep traveling. A cracking sound resonates as the ground fractures beneath your feet. As the rift spreads before you, try to stay calm. Okay, during the following action, to whoever revealed this, and the red means I have to immediately resolve it. I'm not confused, so I need to get 3 stars, and, okay. Yeah, if I don't succeed, I'm going to have to take a negative status effect, so I just need to get 3 stars, okay. So let's do 5 to be safe. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, if I put the half stars together. I got to discard all of them, so that was great, I guess. Takes me to 128. At the bottom of a steep hill, a path goes down to a rocky scree that obstructs the passage. All right, there we go. And it's now a 3 to go to the right, but a 2 to go down, so I can head down towards where Kel should be without any negatives. So let's go ahead and travel. I got another reflex card, which I only want to get in my skill test, not for things I can add to my hand. And my entire deck is empty, so let's spend a ton of the life I've been saving. So for every 2 cards, I shuffle my discard first. For every 2 cards I want to get back into my deck, I need to spend 1 life, so we'll just do all of it. All right, that was 18 cards for 9 life. That's the main difficulty setting, by the way. If I was playing on easy, then I would get 3 cards back for each life. But thanks to the bet, I'm feeling pretty good. All right, let's investigate this place, because I know it's really good. The more you play the game, the more you memorize these things. 140, the rock of this region is of excellent quality, highly prized by stonecutters and ideal for construction. So first of all, if I did a hiding or climbing or fighting test while on this card, I would get a bonus star, because this the little arrow down at the bottom connects to the card. It also says when I check a building symbol on the Destiny page of the Citadel, if the Rockery Gorge can be seen on a map card in the world map, check 1 additional box on the building page. I forgot that second part. So I can't benefit. I was thinking I would get to build an extra building. First, I would need to map a few times to get the area towards the Rocky Gorge done. But nope. All right, so we're just going to keep on heading down. Oh, what's this? You discover the ruins of a building. It used to be a coaching inn, judging by the rusty plate that still hangs showing a galloping horse. Yeah, so all the animals in here have like their names slightly misspelled. It's a little weird. So I can just leave. Or I can try my luck. I forgot to say the thing I got was lucky. So I could force it to be good luck and then get rid of this. Because if I succeed at the test, I got to try my luck. And if I get lucky, I get a book and a 199 card, which is a good item. Okay, well, with that, I will do it. So I need to get 3 successes. And again, I have nobody that helps. I'll try 4 cards. Ooh, reflex. There we go. So reflexes, when you draw them, it give you immediate bonus for this test. Oh, this one gives me defense if I was fighting somebody. but they also just have a ton of stars. That's the main good thing about them. So gosh, how many stars did I get? 1, 2, 3, 4. I needed 3. Way too many. I don't get to keep any of them with hand symbols. And I will return my You Are Lucky card to automatically be lucky, so I'll get a book and a 199 item. Okay, I got a Roundel shield to help me block some damage. Pretty cruddy one. And for the book, I learned about morning tea, type of mushroom I can use in different recipes. That's cool if I see any. Still no bonuses to my reputation or my knowledge, which is not great because we're getting pretty close to the city, just to tell you. And here we go. The waves of the Great Sea lick the foot of a plateau where a thicket of dangerous-looking vegetation proliferates. I don't love that. Oh, wait. That's a 5 card. That's going to cost a ton as well. I forgot that I had to kind of cut around the lake to get to Cal. Oh, that's right. I could have gone... I think I can go south and take a boat. Well, I'm already almost there, so whatever. And I've got a ton of barter items, so I can give people stuff. Okay, so let's spend 1 to head down there. And I get a Fortitude card. Oh, okay. It could let me ignore some negative effects. That's a general listening test. I don't really feel the need to do that, but I'll try this looking one. Oh, and I'm glad I did. It's one of the unique ones. Your path leads you to a small, gently sloping beach to the north of the Great Sea. Oh, it's like a shortcut around the really expensive card to my right. That's kind of fun that they added that. You should be able to get around the lush plateau by following the coast to the south. Okay, so I don't have a weakness, so I need 3 successes. Okay. I mean, it's specifically for my quest, so I should do it, right? Let's try 5 to make sure I get 3. I'm kind of overpaying here, but I don't want to fail. Okay, 1 success. Oh, gosh. 2. Yeah, so I got 4 successes total. You're only at the beginning of the crossing when a powerful wave sweeps Lorvik away. The actor's head briefly resurfaces, his frantic movements betraying his panic. If you don't act fast, he may disappear for good. Gosh darn it. Should have just gone the easy way. Okay, so this is a compound action. I gotta get 5 stars. I'm gonna get super tired each time I don't. And then I need to succeed. Crud. The final test, the 3-star one, I seem to somehow make that happen. Well, ain't this a joy? All right, so I need 5 successes. Every time I fail, I'm gonna have to discard more cards. And it's swimming, which I have nothing to help me with. Again, of course. No, I do have this. I'm going to be able to use this on the first test to ignore losing the 3 while I slowly build up successes. So let's just try like 3 cards and start working on this. Ooh, pretty good. Actually, really good draw. That was 1, 2, 3 stars. So this ticks down to 2. So these compound tests have memory. But then I would lose 3 cards from my deck, but now I'm going to use Fortitude to ignore that. Then I can keep one of these. Ooh, perfect. I can use Reinforcement if I'm having at least one companion help me to turn 2 flags into 2 stars. That should be able to lock in that final test. Oh man, especially with me having the Authority card that gives me 2 flags, I can combo these together. All right, but now I still have to beat this one for 2 successes with 3 cards. And let's go just 3. Oh, and I got a Reflex. That made it easy. Immediately after this is revealed, you may draw 1 additional card. So if I realize that I still needed stuff, and I can keep 1 more. Shoot, both of these are great. Determination is the one that I can add during the gear up step to get a free star. Or Improvise lets me keep an extra card. I mean, Determination seems like the obvious one, right? Although I can only hold 4 cards. I don't know if there's going to be any combat. Maybe I'll get rid of the Fine Tactician one. And that's right, I can't even benefit from the strength right now. So might as well discard that. Okay, and this moves down. Now this one I have to beat first try. I have to draw at least 2 cards. I can keep up to 2 of them. Now, I do have to say I'm using Ratko, not for this because he's not good at swimming, but for this ability that I can just use every time so that I am eligible to use Reinforcement. But all those I can wait and see what I draw. So I'm actually just going to draw the 2 minimum cards because my skills will take care of the rest. Oh, wait, I do have to say that I'm using Determination before, like during the gear up step. Okay. Oh, I guess I'm good. I don't need to use Reinforcement or Authority or any of that stuff because I already got 3 successes. I managed to grab hold of the actor and drag him back to your starting point, and I got another level up card. Great. And again, I'm literally just going to save those until I get to where I'm supposed to talk to the guy so that I know exactly how many times I need to level up my stats to try to succeed. So wait, did that all do nothing? I don't get to, like, move? Because it had, like, an arrow to the side. I thought that would let me move on. Oh, maybe I'll check if there's another 158. Maybe that's the idea. And yes, okay, so I could do that whole thing again. I mean, is really that card so bad? Well, I guess it might be that card and that card, which could be like 14 cards worth. So yeah, I should do that. But I'm out of cards again, so let's injure ourselves. Costs another 9 life, but I'm very close to Kel, so I'm not too worried about it. I need to get 3 successes. All right, whatever, let's try 4 cards maybe. I seem to be wasting too many, but I will say that Ratco is helping me, so I can use that authority reinforcement combo if necessary. I don't think it'll be necessary. Yep, that's already 3. Oh god, and I got to reflex 2? How many successes did I get? Way too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. I didn't get to keep any. All right, so I teleport straight to 167. The ramparts of Kel can be seen to the south. A wide stone bridge leads to them at the entrance of which stands a small fort. All right, there we go. And as you can probably imagine, that's how I get into the city. Should I check out? Oh, no, 158 would just give me that option again. Right? Yeah. All right, so 139, I'm going to have to pay the dude. Several strong men-at-arms guard the bridge leading to the capital, whose roofs rise in the distance. Nearby, a man sits in front of a small fort on which flies a flag bearing the arms of Kel. One of the guards, slumped on the parapet, stifles a yawn before beckoning you forward. The official behind the table immediately straightens up while smoothing his hair with his hand. All right, so I can take a free action to talk to him. The attendant opens a register before greeting you with a honeyed smile.
Good day to you, who come to visit the jewel of our mighty protectorate. But be warned, Kel does not open to just anyone.
He examines you carefully.
Troublemakers and vagrants are not welcome here.
Kel's economic situation must not be very good if it's charging an entrance toll. All right, so yeah, usually I don't go to Kel until I've been adventuring around for a while. So this one says if my crown score is 7 or higher, it is 1. Or if you have a double key card, I do not, then he would let me in. Otherwise, the man invites you to pay the toll, an unconditional requirement if you wish to go further. One character may discard 1 card with the keyword barter, trinket, and or weapon, and then I'll be able to move in. Luckily for me, I've got a sack of grain that's barter, my flute is barter, my coin purse is barter. I think that orders potion. Yep. So I'm clearly going to get rid of the coin purse because unless I have a specific quest, that's the only one that has like no other uses. And then we can get in. Kel stands at the tip of a rocky promontory that plunges into the Great Sea. It seems that its suburbs were razed during the War of the Worms. The rumble of the city reaches you, although still muffled by distance. All right, so actually the city is this entire like separate map that I'll have to get rid of all of this. But first I got to walk over. Okay, I got to save your energy card. And I can examine things a bit. I think that's just to go back. Oh, never mind. This is a quest you can take if you find these things called Gambler's Boons. I don't have any. And then I feel like there's some sheep I can get. Let me look at 243. Oh, once again, glad I did, although it's probably going to try to kill one of my actors. As you're about to enter the city, Punyard, the most reserved of the actors, I was going to say he didn't talk yet, clears his throat before speaking up.
Listen, I'm not so sure I want to keep going. I mean, look at everything we went through just to get here. It's a miracle we're even standing. It wasn't that bad, dude. Honestly, I'm starting to wonder if it's really worth risking my life any further. Gosh darn it, Punyard. Only the actors are able to identify Plethor. Now is definitely not the time for them to back out. I mean, I've got all 4 of them. Okay. During the results step of the following action, for each objective card you have. Oh, so the other actors will help convince. I'm not confused. It's a talking test. Ooh, which means Ratco could let me draw 2 fewer cards. I'm not going to do that, but every 2 flags will give me a star. Up to 3 times, and I need to get 6 stars with keeping up to 6 cards. I bet that'll be enough, so let's just go ahead and do 6. I can always use my cards to help me out. In fact, I don't think I need 6. Let's try 5. Probably enough. All right, so what did I get? I got 2, 3, 4, 5, and I got 1 flag and 2 fists. So I do need 1 more. So I could either discard my authority to give Ratco the 2 more, or, block my reinforcement. So I'm going to do the authority then, because that'll at least come back. Blocking means it's out of your deck for the rest of this singular mission, then it goes back in. So I got 5 stars, and then I use my authority in a talking test to have Ratco get me 1 more. So the actor was still about to run away, and then Ratco slapped him or something. It's precisely because you made it this far that it'd be foolish to give up now. Your words seem to resonate with him. I get another level up card. Okay, so I guess that is good that I'm doing these like tests because they're getting me level up cards that I could, again, use if necessary to actually increase the stats that matter. And a 243, is that lucky again? No, 243 is something else. So 199 and 243. Oh, 243 is just the alternate card. That's how I go into the city. Yeah, so when I'm ready, I can enter the city by doing this. But then I guess this is the sheep, or I think it's Shleep in the game. Yes, a dozen or so Shleep, my son got really excited when we found this the first time we came to Kel, are scattered about grazing. These ruminating animals have found something here to satisfy their insatiable appetites. If only you could take them back to the Citadel. Yeah, so I totally will. Look, I need to get 4 successes on 2 cards locked, but if I have a sack of grain or a keyword animal card, which is like these dogs you can get to help you out, then I could succeed without the chain and only needing 3 successes.
But I'd have to walk back to the Citadel, and that's not where I'm going. So let me pause while I put all this stuff away, and we'll go into Kel and see what's going to happen. All right, and on to the city. You stand at the entrance to Kel, where several onlookers are going about their business. A foul smell assails you, though you have no idea if it's coming from a cattle pen to the east or from the gutter that divides the main thoroughfare in two. All right, here we go. Lots of places to explore in the city, as you can imagine, and I want to explore most of them because I want to try to find more ways to level up. I did count. I've got 3? Oh, it's only 3 full level ups, and then an almost level up with the Glimmers of Hopes. And I do have, I think, 1, 2, 3, and even 4 if I... Oh, no, that doesn't connect. Yeah, so I can get up to 3 level ups to my stats just through the cards. So that would get me to 5 and 1, 6. And then I've got 4 actors left alive. That might be worth 4 more. I don't know, man. This is a weird start of the quest because, you can't succeed unless you make it happen. All right, so let's just investigate everything 308. A few steps lead to a shop where a horde of bric-a-brac is piled up. You spot on the crowded shelves a chicken's foot, or a chick-wren's foot, 2 polished stones, a box full of horseshoes, and a wig. Welcome to the best shop in Kel. I'm sure I have exactly what you need. Will you haggle or try to steal something? All right, I'm not going to try to steal anything. I don't really want to rummage around either. I have some bartering, but I don't know what I need to buy right now. Okay, then looking to the right, a handful of animals graze in a pen. A draft animal would be useful at the Citadel to increase its agricultural production. You approach the guard to haggle over a bullocks, but he tells you the animals are not for sale. One of the animals, with a long neck and a mane, dominates the others with its slender size. A horse! It's the first time you've ever seen one, and it seems agitated. The collapsing lands are far too rugged for the delicate legs of these animals. Without warning, the horse kicks, angering the guard. If I have a sack of grain card, I don't have to discard it. So sure, I'll spend 1 blue card for that right option. The animal settles down. To thank you, the guard picks up a piece of dung from the ground and rubs it on your hand. It's said to bring good luck. What the heck? Oh, never mind. Apparently it works perfectly because now I'm lucky. That's great. Oh, the dung method of luck. All right, let's check out this. Accompanied by 2 lackeys, a richly dressed nobleman looks down on you with disdain. Will you react to his affront? If a character on the active player's terrain card is unleashed, no. We must take the following action. Otherwise, no, man, I'm not going to mess with a nobleman. I'm not in a good enough place to do that yet. Heading south, most of the houses in the neighborhood are made of wood and raised on solid stone foundations. The clinking of a hammer on an anvil drowns out the conversation in the street. I just realized I don't actually know where I'm supposed to meet this guy. But all right, let's take a walk action and move down there. And I get flight to my hand. I'll discard that immediately. I don't think it's going to matter. All right, only 1 action to take here. Discard a card to try it. A man in a leather apron hammers iron on an anvil, showering sparks toward the floor. His apprentice fans the bellows of the furnace, which glows in the darkness. The heat is stifling. The blacksmith wipes teeming sweat from his forehead as he asks, "What do you want?" No sooner do you open your mouth than you are interrupted by a hiss of steam. The man has just plunged the burning metal into a basin of water. All right, so if I have a barter item... Ooh, I think 299s are good weapons, and I have barters. I want to do that one, the bottom one. Ooh, and nice, look. I can have Ratgo talk to him, which takes away the entire cost, the 2 cost of even taking the action. All right, so I'm going to draw a random weapon. These ones are way better. It's a war pick. So once per combat or digging action if I get at least 2 hands flipped, which again, my deck has a good number of. I get 3 stars. And then I roll, and on a 1, it gets blocked. A lot of the weaker weapons will break if you roll badly after you use them, so this is great. So what I have to do, I have to return 1 keyword barter card? That's amazing. Let's trade in my cured meat. Okay, then this gets discarded. Interesting. All right, and then I gotta head east. A well-dressed man approaches you in the street. Tell me, if you are in Kel... Oh, this is an expansion one. That's why it's the A on the book. That means that it's from the expansion booklet. If you are in Kel and you're... Oh, so I don't even have an option to do this or not. Okay, so I have to spend 1 card, because that's not the talking one that's on Ratco. It's a different talking symbol. So I would banish it if my crown was high. It's not yet, so I just read 36. All right. If the character on an active player's terrain has an eye in the spider tattoo, no. Double key tattoo, no. Okay, we don't have any tattoos. Otherwise, a man asks you where Goblet Street is. I don't have a 10 or higher thing, so I don't know. That was a whole lot of wastefulness. I can't help this guy at all. The city changed a lot during the War of the Worms. Entire neighborhoods have been engulfed and many buildings damaged. Vegetable gardens have been built in the hulls of houses that were too damaged for reconstruction. All right, so we got a little farm we can investigate. So let's move on over there. I got spare no effort to my hand. Okay, it's another one I have to use during the gear up step, but it can let me draw an extra card if I need it. That's cool. All right, let's check this out for 1 card. Several people work the land where the houses of nobles once stood. Similar plots have been set up in different parts of a town to provide for the population. Oh man, The bottom action of this would let me get crowns, but I would need to have a higher food score, which I don't have. You observe them for a while. The farming techniques differ significantly from those used at the Citadel. All right, so I will go ahead and take the top action. I'll spend 3 cards. Whoops, I have to do my life first. Oh, no, I don't. I'll use Save My Energy to only spend 1 card. Make me not have to build my life back up quite yet. Okay, and then I banish this so I can never get the other one, but I get to keep the 1 card I discarded. And I get 1 production, which might not even matter much for this quest. I don't know. Now, there are other 322. Since I did the green one, I can do a golden one. Let's see which one we get. You're watching the peasants work when an explosion surprises everyone. The farmers drop their tools and rush to the aid of one of their companions who is screaming and holding his leg. All right, so I have 1 chance. I need to get 2+ successes. Now I'll heal myself. Takes me 8. I mean, honestly, I have tons and tons of life left. I probably could have, adventured around the land a little bit more to level up, but whatever. I'm going to commit Spare No Effort so that I can draw an extra card if I need one, and then, I don't know, draw 3 cards. Okay, there we go. Already got 2, so I don't need the Spare No Effort. Although, actually, I seem to remember that this one needed bonus successes, so I will use Spare No Effort. Okay, that gets me to 3 successes. They are very few and far between, but sometimes you'll have checks that will say, even though they don't tell you, they want a higher minimum than you realize. Yeah, I was right. My son and I have done this one before. If I got 3 successes, I can get 294. You shout to the peasants not to move! They must have planted Dark Squash. The one that detonated was certainly right. That's right, I know about all these evil plants. Before reaching the injured man, you scan the ground so as not to step on one of the necro-druidic vegetables' explosive seeds. All right, I don't think I have a bonus to either of these, but I'll say I'm using Ratco so that I'm eligible to use my reinforcement card if I draw a bunch of flags. And with that, I'll just draw 3. Never mind, I got 2 successes anyway. And I got a reflex where I could have drawn another card. You manage to reach the man with the shredded foot without setting off any further detonations. You bring him to safety, and his comrades thank you for doing a good deed. There's a side quest that goes with that. That's why it's underlined, but I don't have it yet. And saving them from disaster. Oh, I get 1 crown! Yay! And a 150 card, and a level up card. Ooh, this is great. So now I am even more confident. Hopefully I'll be able to do this. 150 is a nice card. It's UR focus, and I could use it in a future test to let me basically get any card I want. Oh, I forgot I had the UR lucky thing. That would have helped me with that test as well. All right, so now I'm up to 4 out of 10. And again, I have the actors, which hopefully help in my level ups. And hey, we can do this one more time. A plowman is busy chasing away birds that have come to pick at the freshly sown seed. That's right. We had this one before, never got it. If I can find a mirror, then it's another good deed, and I would get +1 crown and 2 partial level up things to scare away the crows, but I don't have a mirror. Well, if I have one, that'd be great, but probably not going to happen in the little bit of time I have left. Let's explore down here. Inside a cage, suspended from a gallows, a poor man is curled up in his own filth and decaying vegetables. Still, he has managed to find some way to sleep. If you'd rather go your way, discard this. Otherwise, look at your timepiece. What time? I'm recording this at 12:26 local time, which would be in the middle. Oh, it would be inappropriate to speak to him, let alone set him free in broad daylight, so I discard it. Okay. Not that I necessarily would have wanted to do it anyway. Okay, lively conversation comes from a half-timbered building where a tavern sign is hanging. That's where I'm supposed to meet the guy, right? Yeah, I believe so. So I can at least check in there. It usually won't, force me to immediately stop doing stuff. All right, so let's move down. And I get, an eloquence card. Seems good in case I'm maybe about to talk to somebody. All right, so let's check out this one. The smell of cabbage wafts through the room, where a few customers are eating and exchanging the latest news. Leaning against the counter, a man orders a mug of meat and pulls out a few gold coins, the old Kellyan currency, from his pocket. The innkeeper sneers. What do you want me to do with that scrap? If you have nothing useful to offer me, you'd better go try elsewhere. You made the right choice in coming here. There's no better place in the whole city for food, drink, and a bed, boasts Britha, the innkeeper. You're about to ask her a question, but she's already gone back to scolding the little man cleaning the tables. Okay, so I could listen for rumors. That could get me a side quest. Or if I had 2 keywords with barter, I can get 7 life points back. I don't need that. Oh, never mind. I look back at the quest, and it says he's going to be waiting in the palace square, which I think is 1 more south. Well, let's talk to people real quick. Oh, no love for the expansion. If I'm playing any of the 3 threats from the base game, I could have found out something. All right, let's check out this thing. The dilapidated building, which a passerby has pointed out as the dispensary, does not look encouraging. You're surprised to be greeted by the scent of dried herbs and clean linen. The place is furnished with a shelf full of pots and 3 beds with immaculate sheets. A healer is busy grinding seeds in a mortar. You are about to speak when 2 men carrying an unconscious woman burst in. She fell from a roof where we were doing repairs. The healer seems helpless given the severity of her injuries. Ooh. Get another crown with this and another level up and another good deed that won't help me at all because I haven't started that quest. Darn it. But 2 for 4. My lucky could give me 1 automatically. That would definitely help. None of my other cards specifically help. Oh, I could add a card to my hand. Oh, I'll get the one that gives me another automatic success. Yeah, here we go. So I'm returning my focus card to get determination. All right, so that gives me 2 automatic successes, although I have to declare both of them ahead of time. Here, you know what? Let's do one more thing. I'm going to use the second wind test, because this is not a test I have to do right away. I can choose up to 3 cards in my discard pile, shuffle them back on my action deck, and then block this. So let's go for a reflex. I'm looking for ones with multiple stars. Another reflex. And I guess that, well, not flight. That one sucks. Anticipation. So I'm shuffling that in, so now there's an even higher chance that I should be fine. So yes, using determination and using lucky to add 2 stars. I guess I could say Ratco is helping me into reinforcement too, but I think I'll be okay without that. And I'll draw 4 cards. And hey, there's one of the the reflexes I wanted. So that gets me 2 stars plus 2. Would have gotten some defense as well. Nice. So I get another crown. Heck yeah. Now I'm at 5 without leveling up or any bonuses. I get another level up card. This is a fantastic first run, and this is banished. Because yeah, I remember there's another card I can do there, like a regular one where I can pay her to heal me, but I guess I don't need that. All right, let's head down to, I think, the palace. The men are beating a man on the ground who is clutching a leather bag that the assailants obviously want to take from him. I'll just let it be. I don't want to get involved. A stage framed by faded curtains borders a small square. To the south, the street comes to a dead end at an imposing domed palace topped with the Kellian emblem, a column surmounted by 2 arches. It must be an official building. Well, seems appropriate that we found a stage at the end. Let's move over there. And I definitely don't need to go into the palace, but we can check these out. 126 first. Next to a gleaming breastplate on display, a skinny man harangues passers-by. So, ladies and gentlemen, who wants to take a chance at a game of Go-Bit and walk away with this magnificent piece of armor? And it's not scrap metal, this is quality steel. He points to 3 insect cages on display. Ladybugs, beetles, or marshbugs, choose your fighter. So, who wants to try their luck? The scruffy man resumes. Let's do this. You there, you're on a roll, the little man says. How do you play this game? All right, I've actually beaten this before, but I don't remember what the solution is. Let's see. Yes, it is a pretty complicated riddle. I'll freeze and read through this, and y'all can pause the video and try it out yourself. Playing Go-Bit is quite simple. You place your bet, then open the 3 cages one at a time in the order of your choice. Cage number 34 contains a ladybug, a beetle, and a marshbug. Cage 69 contains a beetle and a marshbug, and cage number 92, a ladybug and 2 marshbugs. If a single ladybug and a single marshbug are among those left standing, you win the prize. Choose the order in which you open the cages wisely, but that's not all. You have to know the behaviors of these little beasts. Each uncaged insect will eat, but never more than 1 insect each time a cage is opened. The fastest are the ladybugs, which prefer to eat beetles before eating marshbugs. Then it's the beetles' turn, which only eat marshbugs, and finally the slower marshbugs, which only eat ladybugs. So basically you have to pick whether you're opening cage 1, 2, or 3 first. The animals who are alive, this is one that I didn't understand when I first tried it, will eat again and again each time a cage is opened. And it's going to go ladybugs, then beetles, then marshbugs. And you're trying to end up with a ladybug and a marshbug. So I'll give you some time. I think I actually remember the answer. Oh, and what you're doing is you're doing twice the first cage plus the number of the second cage. And that's the entry you check to see if you're correct. All right, if you said 172, cage 2, and then cage 1, good job. You smile as you watch the victorious ladybug bend the rules, gobbling up the single marshbug that was left standing. It's your lucky day, grumbles the skinny man as he hands you the piece of armor. By the way, I did have to have a barter item, but I don't lose it. I would have only lost it if I lost the thing. So we get a 124 card. If the latter is available, take 2 49 cards and a 154. Nice, that gives me back my lucky card. And this one is fantastic, though I got to check my carrying capacity. It's a 3. But look, during a combat, I can use it up to 3 times to block damage. That's basically a lot of combat results, even if you win, will cause damage, which is direct life damage. And then on a 1, I would have to block it and repair it later. And let's see, I have 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, good. And yeah, I'm ready to fight pretty dang well. Because look, I've got... My hoe is terrible, but I've got a war pick, a weenie little shield, and an awesome armor. And I've got a good amount of strength in my deck to use it all. Okay, so that one's done. Let's go ahead and just see what the guy needs and if we're going to get any bonuses before we have to go back and do more stuff or something. Around the stage, a partially faded poster lists the plays that were performed here. The Wolf, the Goat, and the Cabbage, the Lord of the Springs. The place is open to anyone who wishes to perform there, whether for a theatrical performance or for a musical recital. Never mind, this is not for my quest. 3 comedians are in the middle of a show on the small stage. You catch the end of their act, which proves to be particularly amusing. The kind of entertainment your community would love. Once the applause fades, you might try to convince the trio to come perform at the Citadel. Right, so I don't have 7 or more stars or a crown, so I'd have to get 3 successes. And to card 2 keywords with barter to get a level up card. Nah, I'm not going to do that. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say. I would have gotten 2 Glimmers of Hope, which are the 49 cards that were mentioned at the end of that test, but I only had 1 more available. But I can, at any time, return 5 of them to get another 99, which means I now have, 6 Hope Reborns. I think there's only 1 more I can possibly get. 7 level ups is the max. Now, will that be enough? So I guess maybe I do talk to the palace guards, and that's how I progress the quest. Okay, yep. The building is adorned with Kellyan crest, marking it as the seat of power in the city. Its imposing dome has clearly been restored recently. A young man is sitting on the steps of the entrance. You may not take the following action unless you have at least 1 objective card. Oh, geez. Wait, so that's it? I don't get any bonus for saving all the people? So I'm still going to be way, way short. Yeah, because let's see, I'm at 5, and I have 6 level ups. How many can I reach? So that's 1, 2, 3. Those are the only ones I can reach without having to cross out other stuff. And how many more do I need? 5. So even if I got to 7 level ups, I could do 1, 2, 3. That would leave me with 4 level ups. I guess I could do 4, 5, 6, 7. What the heck? Yeah, just to be clear, this is a crazy mission. I've never had one that required you to do this kind of stuff. I mean, I guess I did have 21 more life, so maybe I was supposed to be adventuring around more. All right, so I think if I do this dumb thing, all right, so I need 3 successes. These blessings are temporary and they go away anyway, so I'll go use my luck for 1. And I'll go ahead and say Ratco's helping me. And I got eloquence, so I can get tons of stars from talking. And then I'll draw, 3. I feel like I've already got enough. So that's 1 star, 2 from lucky, and then, wow, I got 3 flags, which would be enough for 3 more stars from that. So crushing it. But the bad part is I got to discard 2 barters, which is my flute, and I guess, sadly, my orator's potion. I like that one. But that gets me the max victory cards I can have in one scenario, and a You Are Confident card if I want to use it. All right, so now 7 level ups. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait a second. I'm so dumb. Increase your score by 2 for each of these you check. Now it's incredibly easy. Oh my gosh. All right, so that was 3. I got 4 level ups left. I was about to say, man, I was like, how can you do this without flawless play? Okay, so that was 1, 2, 3. We're already there. Wow. So might as well use my other 4 level ups. You don't really want to save them because they get unblocked at the end of each scenario, and then you can gain them again. If you hold on to them, then you limit the amount of experience you can get later. Ooh, I want to do a couple of map ones. Was I supposed to start with one for the map? Hold on. Yeah, I was. Geez, because I forgot that, yes, it is the first map you get for free. I need to have other options to map out for later. This is going in here to replace the Valengard area. See, so now we can see how far the Great Sea has actually come and everything. All right, so I've got 4 level ups left. So that's 1. I want to get some more buildings. So let's do 2 of those. And I'll get another level up of cards. I'll show you how that works. For the map, I'm going to put it here because that will get me the quarry on the map, so I can start getting those bonus building builds every time I run over and look at it. It doesn't get revealed until you prepare out of the Citadel. Oh, crap, I'm not at the Citadel, so I'm not going to get any bonuses from that. Same thing with the double building I'm doing. Oh, well. What do I want to build? A few that I like. The cemetery gives you bonus level up, so it tends to pay for itself. If you do these ones where you can build any of multiple types of buildings, there's one that gets you some apprentice builders. They can get you free build actions as well. But here's 2 that I like because they're cheap. The Place of Worship will give me 2 partial level up cards every time I leave the Citadel, and the Smithy will let me repair my items, including that good weapon and armor I got, or let me get free gladiuses, which are blades that you can trade in to go into Kell or that kind of stuff. And how the leveling up works is you draw 4 cards from this advanced action deck with the little laurels here, and you get to keep 2 of them. I see 2 flag ones. Although Persuasion, I already have Eloquence, which does mostly the same thing, although that does have also for gifts. That might be a little bit... Oh, but it's got good stars. Animal Handler. Oh, it means that I really want to get a dog. And then that will help me out a ton with tons of quests. Or just Tess. Swift Evasion I don't really have. Yeah, I'll get both of these. I mean, they've got the flags I want. They've got really good stars, so I like them better than these options. These would get shuffled into my deck if I wasn't about to end the mission anyway. That means I'll have to rest a little bit less soon when I'm playing. There's also level up spots that get you reflex cards, ones that have tons of stars, and ones that let you call cards from your deck. But all right, let's talk to this guy now that I can. Man, it was blowing my mind that quest was so impossible. I just should have read better. If you're at the Citadel or you do not have any objective cards, circumstances prevented you from meeting Plethor. You will learn nothing of the events to come. Your adventure ends here. Great. All right, but I do have a combined 10 or higher for books and crown. Plethor wears well-fitted trousers, a loose, finely tailored shirt, and a colorful scarf tied around his neck. Despite his mere 22 cycles of age, slender build, and modest height, he carries himself with natural elegance and certainty. His sharp gaze seems to catch every detail. He greets you with a warm smile and listens attentively as one of the actors recounts the events that have unfolded since their separation. Once the tale is finished, he falls silent for a moment, then turns to you. Thank you for coming all the way to Kel. It was clearly no easy task. I'm convinced you are exactly the kind of partners we need to get to the bottom of this. Unfortunately, my research here has not turned up anything conclusive about these seeds. That said, I did learn of an old citadel, nestled in what was once called the Burning Bramble Wood. We might find some answers there. If my intuition is right, these seeds are of critical importance. You step in. As it happens, several members of my community have mentioned an herbalist, rumored to be the daughter of a druid who lives in the mire. If there's any truth to it, she might be able to tell us more about these seeds. What do you say we go find her together? But first, I think we should stop by the Citadel to rest and recover. Bloodthrower's eyes gleam with excitement and anticipation at the prospect of finally unraveling the mystery surrounding the seeds. Alright, so let's see. You have earned Bloodthrower's trust. He believes you capable of helping him in his quest. I get +1 book, and I get a 99 card, but I can't because I don't have any available. That's the problem of leveling up too much in one session. Oh, and man, if I return all 4 objectives because I saved all the actors, I would also get level 99. But everything else is just kind of like the regular stuff. You discard all your stuff. And we're going to go on to the Seed Specialist quest. Cool. So that was it for the first step in the First Garden threat. I might go and play this more when I have time, but that was fun so far. Hope you all enjoyed watching that. And a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Steve Wren, KCW, Andrew R., and Chris C. We'll see you at the next stop.